Morning.
Hello. You're muted.
I am. I was like, I muted it in two places. Hey, Giselle.
How are you doing?
I am doing okay. Sarah called me yesterday and she was like, I have a thing and I'm really sorry, but I was going to host. Can you host? I was like, well, I was planning on being there anyway. So why not?
Well,
Yeah.
Happy you did.
Sarah could tell you this is my favorite. I think I've been talking about you coming on. And I was like, Sarah, if you're going to help me host these Zoom meetings, can you ask Giselle to come back again?
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you. I love being with you guys. How is everything going now that you're not having your conference, right?
Well, we haven't called that off. So it's kind of complicated. We want to have the best hope in the future of planning it. And right now we have moved it from Chicago to San Antonio. So it's going to be in San Antonio in September, the same date, because at least San Antonio, it's a little bit more open, there's good weather, and then the venue we're looking at has outdoor spaces. In fact, most of even the conference center is outdoors, which is kind of like, it's just helping the situation, if you will. And
it is good.
It's one of those, yeah. We want to kind of try and assume some sort of a semblance of, I'm going to use the word normal, but there's obviously lots of things going on, and even in events that say this year is just going to be different. And I know local events are probably going to be started up a lot sooner than corporate events, and so we're also having a virtual conference in planned out. So like if in the event that we do have to call out a real event, we will be able to, continue with at least
the virtual events. They're pretty powerful. I've been on several. I've actually taught on a couple, and you just feel so connected because it's like you're on the front row of every single speaker,
right.
Every single workshop. It's just really impactful. It's been kind of exciting, to be honest, in that sense.
Yeah. Hey, Denise. You're on mute. I think I auto-muted everybody this time.
I sent you a link, but I can always put it up on the chat. Don't worry.
Yeah, put it up on the chat if you want to put it up in the chat. Because here's the thing, and this is why I don't understand what Zoom doesn't do. It's not like it gives you an instant CSV download, or it gives you like here's all their list, and then just mail it to it. It's a pain in the butt. It's what it is.
I'm going to give you a little tip on what I do when I do workshops. So Eventbrite now has an option for the link to Zoom. So what happens is you have the email list that they send everyone 4 hours before and 2 minutes before. And if you want to send anybody any extra material, like I always like to send the workbooks and stuff, I have the email. It's one click away. Send email with the link.
That's what I think I'd want to do as a third party, to at least grasp the information in a form that's not just in Zoom. And yeah, so we're looking at Eventbrite, but event.com, and then there's 2 other virtual providers that add a couple of really cool things too, where they allow you to do some sort of separate registrations and then divide people into breakout rooms. And so we can really kind of look at that virtual option, including we're looking at being able to send everybody like care packets if we go virtual, which is kind of cool.
That's so awesome.
We'll see.
I know right now everybody
I
loves.
really just want to party in San Antonio or just visit Denise. One of the two. I'm going stir crazy.
Please, please. The cutest thing I ever saw was my, just 2 days ago was my grandson's kindergarten graduation on Zoom. Oh my goodness. It was the cutest thing ever. And these littles, they have adapted probably better than we have, but all their friends on Zoom, oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing.
Oh my God, I
Oh
love.
my goodness.
I mean, how crazy, right? How everybody is just adapted. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the first 2 weeks I was like, what's happening right now? Like, what just happened right now?
Yeah.
I think I saw the best thing, and it was somebody posted this on my wall, and it said, "Stay tuned for December 2020 when Hallmark releases a top-notch lawyer and a country candle maker end up in the wrong Zoom room."
Right. I bet you're in withdrawal though because of all of your travel, Colleen. You must be.
It's like a goal. I think I talked about this. I'm sure there are people on this call who have heard me complain, and I sound like a whiny little brat, but it's not just like, okay, business travel, because business is going well. I've been blessed. I'm employed. I am definitely being able to be active. That's amazing to me. But the goal setting as far as rewards for my husband and I and stuff like that really centers around those type of trips and planning and destinations and stuff. And so that's really taken a toll as far as being like, okay, what are we looking forward to? What are we planning next? And it kind of gives some anxiety to that. I guess if that's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, yeah. I had to cancel spring break visiting my family. I grew up in Hawaii, so I didn't get to go on that trip. And then I was supposed to go to Portugal, Lisbon, and the Azores with girlfriends on our annual trip, and we had to cancel that. So no vacations this year, I don't think. A lot of business travel coming up, but no vacations.
I know. I think we had to cancel 2 conferences. Like one we were doing in Long Beach. And like literally I'd be in Long Beach right now. And, I mean, it just is what it is. We all need to just stay safe.
You're right. Yeah. Small sacrifice to say so.
Yeah, all sorts of names in here. So we had about 55 people register, which was awesome. We're seeing bigger and bigger numbers, and I was actually concerned because it's before the holiday weekend, so I was like, if are people illegally taking off? Okay, so Sarah was going to be here with us today, and do the host, but I'm going to host instead, just because Sarah actually is involved in this amazing opportunity and project she's doing about the census in her hometown. And so it has an event today that she has to be at. So she called me and she was like, hey, can you just step in? I was like, I'm going to be here anyway. And honestly, it's one of my favorite guests. So I'm thrilled to be here. As people kind of start to pour in, housekeeping stuff as usual. I think I have auto mute on, so I hope nobody has their feelings hurt. It's just more of the fact that it's just kind of one of those housekeeping things. It's like everybody's getting on and you hear that awkward conversation or phone call behind the scenes. Yesterday was pretty cool. I was on a Zoom call and somebody had some awesome hold music. We were listening to, like, I think it was Rhapsody in Blues for at least, a good 5 minutes. It was great. So in the spirit of every Zoom call you guys have probably ever been on so far, please keep yourself muted when you're not talking. Please use the chat as far as any questions you have, and we will definitely be diligent about that. If you have something to say, you can unmute yourself and be like, hey, because we appreciate conversations and questions. And, if you guys want to share your cameras, definitely, we love to see your shining faces. And even if you don't have a camera, it doesn't mean I'm not going to pick on you, because I know, easily 40, 50% of you. So just letting you know right now. So that's a little bit about that. And our special guest today, and I think I've been talking about it every Zoom call, but Giselle is actually a return guest. Giselle, okay, I'm going to say this, Mascarenas.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, because I actually was kind of rehearsing your other last name and I did it wrong. Okay, so Sarah coached me through it, and I still I don't want to butcher it at all. So Giselle Mascarenas is here, and she is a brand ambassador, ex-professor, I guess it would be, because from the Bold Institute. And her accolades are pretty numerous beyond that. So also a close friend of our own, Sarah Hammonds. Sarah actually brought Giselle to us last year, and we were able to learn from her and kind of get some insight on Instagram. And Instagram is something some of us kind of dabble in a lot of the times, but never really utilized fully for our business or go into the full capabilities. And it's kind of like that mysterious, okay, what exactly do I need to do? Do I need a hashtag? Do I need to just post a picture? You know, and so Giselle really does spend a lot of time unraveling that mystery and giving us some great pointers, and really just kind of gives you a plan to work off of to really improve your brand and your business. So without any further ado, because I'm talking a lot, here's Giselle.
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm going to do a couple of things right now, though. One, on the chat, and everybody who's new that comes on after I put this up, if you guys can share it, just because it is where you guys can get your workbook. And I really want to not only capture your email to be able to share any other free content that I create, or any workshops or anything that's going on. Somebody is knocking at the door. I apologize. Hold on. Thank you. Sorry. Oh my God, talk about real life. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so I just put that up there, and that's the workbook that we're gonna go over. Today I'm gonna go over, in the last 2 years that I have been teaching the 101, the basics of branding on Instagram. And the reason I choose Instagram is because it's a very holistic space, which means that if you want to grow LinkedIn, if you want to grow Facebook, if you want to grow Twitter, if you want to grow Snapchat, if you learn Instagram, you're going to be able to grow any of those, even TikTok, because TikTok is very, very much like stories. I know, don't laugh, Melissa, but this woman TikToks at 47, and I'm freaking obsessed. But the thing is what is it? It connects you. And so at the end of the day, when you're building a brand, you're building a community, because you are not a brand until your community says so. You aren't a brand until you are a resource. So it isn't about a logo. Of course your logo is important. Of course your brick and mortar is important. Of course your service is important. That is who you are. But until the community says, this is who this brand is, this is who this person is, you aren't a brand. And you have the ability now to be able to build that for yourself. So I wanted to concentrate today on the most asked question. How do I build a community? How do I prospect? How do I build relationships with people through social media that's going to increase my engagement, that's actually going to get people to ask me questions, that actually is going to get people to drop into my DM. If you don't know what that is, it's direct message. Drop into my DM and ask me, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about that system? Or how much does it cost? Hey, do you have financing? Like, once somebody acts on a message that you put out, you now have an active customer. They will end up being your customer if obviously you do your due diligence in your part, which you're an expert in already. So I'm going to put up here, well, before that, let me tell you about who I am in case you guys weren't on the last one. I'm so happy to be here. I really love talking to you guys about this because, first of all, freaking boss babes in a man's world, and you're owning it, and I freaking love that, okay? So I'm one of those people who's all about women empowering women. So my name is Giselle, and I've been in PR for over a decade. And before that, I was a nightclub owner for 7 years. So the one thing that I've been asking myself every single day for 2 decades is, where is the attention? Why is that? Because as a nightclub owner, I had to stay relevant, I had to stay fresh, I had to make sure that I was targeting the audience, the right customer for the themed evening. And what I realized within those 7 years was I was really good at it. I was really good at creating the engaging content that would get people curious to walk through the doors. When I evolved from that, because it was exhausting, when I evolved from that and realized, like, I really love the success of others. I am innately a PR person. I created my firm. And in that time, I had to do extraordinary things to get media to notice my clients. So it had to be something amazing that would get the attention of the community, their core customer. They would talk about it so the media would pick it up and do a story and validate them as a brand. We no longer, I mean, think about the evolution. My company and I have evolved so much throughout this time because communication has evolved and where people's attention has evolved. It's no longer on television as strongly and on a radio as strongly as it is on social media. So if you wake up this morning and you ask yourself, as I do every day, where is the attention? You're going to pick up your phone, you're going to be like right here. So you need to be right there on your phone, creating content that's engaging, that is educational, that is solves a problem, because if you are the solution to a problem that your customer has, you end up being a resource. And entertaining, because people want to get to know you. They don't want to just see all your units or all your vendors, like all the products that you have. They want to see you. They want to see you in action, you with your team. So if you can provide that, and then you can invest, and this is what we're going to, this is the powerful part about how you start to build a business that starts to, you create sales from a space that you're not actively targeting in a sales way. You're just creating community. You're just connecting with people and building a relationship. So let me put this up. I forgot to put it on the share screen. How funny. Okay, here we go. And this is what you have now from that link. So when you go to that link, you're able to download this. And I want you to download this because this workbook is something that you would print out every 30 days. And honestly, this is all you need to be able to build a really strong community. Let me share with you 2 examples. One, and this is funny, but I had a customer, she's 57 years old. She, a very successful attorney, and she's like, I really love my donkeys. And I want to create a book about these beautiful, yes, donkeys, I said donkeys, yeah. My donkey friends, go to Instagram, it's extraordinary. But she didn't know how to use social media at all. I mean, nothing. She didn't even know how to, like, she didn't know, like, well, where would I upload? And well, first of all, I was like, where do I download it? Yes, I'm not, and it's just reality. But those are my favorites. And I tell you, like, oh my God, that brings me so much joy, because when the light bulbs go off, like, the opportunities are limitless. So I teach her, first of all, how to do Instagram, right? The basics, which I hope most of you know. And if you don't, you can always reach out to me. Second, I start to share with her the 3 things that you need to, when you're creating content, which I told you, create content that's educational, create content that solves a problem, create content that's entertaining, that connects people, okay? So one of those 3 things. Once we got past that, I showed her how to do this, what I'm gonna show you. She went from 0 followers to over 3,500 in 6 months. She gets a minimum of 500 likes on every single one of her posts. But this is the difference between her and most of us, because me included. She does this every single day. My husband, who has had an active social media, like literally from a small town guy to being on the Discovery Channel because of his social media, because, well, imagine having to be married to me, like, do your social media, come on, get a post up, you know, so, but it works, it really works, because when you have value, when you share value and your customer experiences or your audience experiences, the value that you're giving them, they feel connected to you, and then they share your message with other people. Like if they're at lunch with somebody and you just put a post up about this amazing product that you have that actually kills disease, you know, in the house, like it'll kill any bacteria or whatever, and they're sitting down with somebody that they care about, and they're like, God, I'm just really worried, you know, my son has to go work every day. Hey, I just heard about this product, and they're your sales force, because you're giving them, you're giving them information that they can be able to clearly state to someone who needs what you provide, okay? So let's get back to building your engaging content, which is super exciting. So steps to building your genuine and engaging content starts with the 30-30 method. You will create a list of 30 people that you want to build a relationship with, okay? This means people you want to collaborate with. It could be vendors. It could be people in the industry that are a really good partner with you. It could be somebody who has an amazing network. So they have they have the core customer, your dream customer. They have that following. It could be an influencer in the community that has your core customer. And I don't know if you know about Instagram influencers, but an Instagram influencer in your local community has a lot of power because they have a lot of attention. They have a lot of engagement. Yes.
Okay. So I hate to break you off on this, Giselle, but a lot of us just went to the link and got the email, and there is no attachment.
No, it's not attached. It goes to your email. It's immediate.
No, we get it. We get it. So we're looking at the email that came to our email. And it says, I'm so excited, attached is your framework. And yet there's no attachment.
There's a
Yeah.
purple button. If you click the purple button, it'll go to it and you can download it.
Yeah.
Oh, it says more calls.
Did I put you to work?
There you go.
Like it's a lead page. You have to click the purple button. Yes, I want it. Did somebody get it? Or yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
Well, I had a question and then I got lost too. So we just solved a bunch of things. Cool. Thank you, Giselle.
Oh my gosh, of course. Did anybody have any other question? No? Okay, perfect. Okay, where was I? Hold on the 30/30. So the 30/30 is also your core customer. So this is a perfect way for you to start targeting, and in a good way, because it may sound like you're stalking a little bit, and you kind of are, because what you're doing is like, are they on Instagram? First of all, yes, they are. You're going to follow them. You're not asking for anything. You're not asking them to follow you. You're not asking them to buy anything from you. What you're doing is you're going to invest every day in their space. So most people do not post every day. I implore you, as a person that wants to build a business and wants to build a lot of influence in your community, post at least once a day. You have more than enough content to share. You have more, because you could share the same thing in a different way every single day. That is, remember, when you're leading from the value that your customer experiences, it could be that you have a payment plan. It could be that the amazing aspects of this product, you know, that helps A, B, C, and D. It could be several different things that you would have to list so that you are, every time that you're posting and it's not entertaining, you are teaching them something. Because remember, even if the person who sees it and is engaged is like, oh, that's interesting, may not need you, they have now the knowledge to be able to talk about it when somebody does in their circle need it. And guess who they're going to talk about? You. They're going to talk about you, that is giving them fresh content that is of value every single day. And then you're going to become a resource when something happens that has to do with your business. They're going to go, oh my gosh, I need to go over there. I know Melody, she'll have the answer. And then they're going to go over there. They're going to go to Melody. They're going to DM Melody, because that's how they're communicating. Because social media is not just a highlight reel. Social media is the way people communicate. Your future customer, the customer that maybe right now is in college and can't afford you, will afford you in the next 10 years. And they will know you because you're active in their community. You're active where their attention's at, because their attention is here. And so I want to I'm really passionate about this, because every single person has the opportunity to build influence on social media. So let's get back to how you're going to build that influence. The 30/30 method. You're going to write 30, you're going to research, and you're going to make your list of 30 people that fall again into people you want to do business with. Okay? They're in an active circle, or they're your core customer, and you want them to know you. They have a great network. They have a lot of influence. They could be a great partner. You could do collaborations with them. If I could go and teach you guys how to create an IGTV show, like your own series, oh my gosh, you definitely want to start writing a list of partners, because it's so doable. You don't need Discovery Channel to discover you. You can do it yourself. and do it in a way that it will cause a lot of attention and you will be a resource. That's for another day. But let's get back to partners, collaborators, influencers. And remember, every single person that you start to build a relationship with is going to be your ambassador, because they're going to be able to clearly define and express what you do to other people, because you're going to do your due diligence to be fresh on social media so that they have that continuous content and continuous engagement with you. When you write that list, then this is what you're going to do every day. You're going to, first of all, time block. And I have that on the workbook. I laid it all out for you. A little contract that you're going to sign for yourself that promises that you're going to pour into your customers, that you're going to validate what they do on social media, because you can't ask for anything until you've given, right? I mean, we're clear about that. You're going to give into them. You're going to validate what they're doing on social media, and they're going to absolutely love you for paying so much attention. And then it also has your calendar to time block for 30 days. What you're going to do every single day in your time blocked section of the 30-30 method, you're going to go to every single one of those people and you're going to like their latest post. You're going to comment authentically to the content of the post. So if they are talking about their dog, you're going to say, what breed is that dog? Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I mean, I'm just, but it's going to be authentic to the post. You're not going to say, because, okay, that's not engaging. That's not getting to know someone. It's good enough if you don't have time, but I would really remember the overall goal is you want not only them to convert them as a customer, you want them to be an ambassador. You want them to be your sales force. You want them to connect you to people. And this is the power. I'm telling you, because I experience it all the time. And the very few customers of mine that actually do this, because I'm going to be honest, it's a lot of work. And so you do a little bit of it, you're still going to see it, but it's a lot of work. And the ones that do shoot up like crazy. My husband, in the last 30 days, his engagement has doubled because I'm like, okay, write your list, like enough. Like you've got to write your list. You've got a lot going on and I want people to know it, right? Same thing with you guys. It just is an investment. But thank God it's not investment of money. It's an investment of time. And you can also teach your team to do this if you needed them to do it for your business. So you're going to go and like their post. You're going to go and comment 3 words or more, because that opens up algorithms. It's not only good for the person that you're doing it for, it's good for you, because this is what happens when you like their post and when you comment on their post. The most active people that they engage with, the 20% of their overall following, will see you on their feed. So guess what? You just opened up yourself to their network by liking and commenting on their post. I want to say that again so that you understand the power in this. When you comment and like, this works for Facebook also. When you comment and like somebody else's post, you open up yourself to their network. So it's not just about what you're doing. It's also about what you're doing on your space. It's also about what you're doing in somebody else's space that gives you the opportunity for more eyeballs. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to go to stories. So a lot of people who don't do Instagram very often don't understand stories. So I want to just stay here 5 minutes. Stories is equivalent to a reality show. And it really is. If you guys want to go see mine, you'll see what I mean. So it really is just like, you're just sharing. It could be about your walk. It could be about something you just cooked. It could be about how you want to throw your daughter out the window. Just kidding. It could be about, a lot of people are homeschooling right now. Just kidding. So it's just about life. But the crazy thing is it gets 3 to 4 times more views than your posts do. And it also is a space where people really feel connected when you're sharing vulnerably, when you're just being you. And it's really a space where the less perfect, the better. And I can't even say that with more emphasis than truly just be. Just be. If it's about your favorite burger, if it's about like, oh my gosh, I just had a whole bottle of wine. Like I don't know what your image is. I just be you, because you are enough. Like, and that's what people want. People are going to connect to you, who you are authentically. You're not for everybody, and nor should you try to be. So if you're you, you're going to attract your tribe. You're going to attract the people who want to work with you. You're going to attract, and you're also, because it took me forever to get Sarah to do this, you guys. I mean, it took me years and years. And now Sarah is of influence to some of her vendors that send her free product. They send her free product. Just talk about it on your videos. Just talk about it on your posts. That is real, because her influence is real, because she works at it. And so this is an opportunity for everybody. Everybody has the same seat at the table. It's all about your investment in time. Going back to stories, on your 30/30, you're going to go to their story and see their stories. You're going to go and you're going to look at all their stories, and you're going to comment on one. Why is this important? Because on stories, since people are so vulnerable, they literally look at every single person who sees their stories. So if you haven't done a story, I challenge you to do one. It's 15 seconds and it lasts 24 hours. You know, if you hate video, just do it and don't go back to it. Just do it, don't go back to it, but do it. Because I want you to see, when people start to view it, you can click there and you can see every single person who views your post, and they don't have to be following you. So if you liked somebody's comment, if you liked somebody's story, you are now in their network's space. And so if they happen to be on during that time, they will see your story. And people connect in a much deeper level on story than they do on anything else. And so I really want to stress that. So please stop me. This is super casual. You can stop me with any questions. If you don't want to get on and show your awesome face, you can just do it on the comments. And Colleen, if you see any, that would be amazing to just let me know. So let's go on to Love Spree. This is super easy breezy. 30/30 method and gratitude spree are a lot of work. You need to make sure that you put that in your calendar. Like, you need to time block it, because it's going to take you a minimum of 15 minutes. You can break it up into, if you want to spend more time on it, but it's going to take you a little time, especially at the beginning. It's going to take you probably about 30 minutes, a minute per person. But as you get better at it, you'll get quicker at it. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Love Spree. This is you going to your Instagram, and you can do this on Facebook too. You guys, you can do this on Facebook. All this is you going into the people you want to build relationships with. It's you're going into their house. I want you to like visualize this. It's like ringing the doorbell. Actually, no, it's like opening the door, because you can go, if they're not private, you can literally see their house, and you're walking into their house and you're going, wow, that is a beautiful, that's a beautiful living room. That's amazing. Oh my God, that smells really good, what you're cooking in the kitchen. Like, you're literally in their space validating what they're doing. And when somebody posts on social media, any social media, they want validation. I mean, that's the whole point. When you post, you're sharing, you're like opening yourself up. And a lot of people take that very personal, but in a good way. When you are giving of yourself to that person, they remember. They remember, and if you're doing it every day for 30 days, they love you. They love you, they're reciprocating, they're following you, they're like asking you questions. It happens quickly. Because imagine walking into somebody's house every single day for 30 days and telling them how awesome they are. Like, you're like, I like you. So same thing. Love Spree. Your Love Spree is you going on to social media, and on your feed, everybody who's just posted in that moment, you're just double tapping. Or if you're on Facebook, you're just liking their post or loving their post, or now caring with the little the little emoji with the heart. So you're doing whatever floats your boat on that, except, you know, mad, don't do mad on Facebook. But on Instagram, you're going to just double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. Everything other than ads, like there's no point in doing that. But everybody on your feed, you're either following or is following you or is someone of one of the people that liked your post. So I'm going to say that again. If somebody in your Instagram community liked your post, their friends now see your post. 20% of their most active users, engagers, the ones that engage with them, see the post they liked. So on your feed, you're going to have a network of somebody that is following you, that you haven't followed, or is that you haven't followed and is not following you, but is following a follower. Did I confuse you? I only see a few of you, so just tell me yes or no and I can go over it again. But it's literally, you open yourself up when somebody likes your content. You open yourself up to their network. So when you go to do the love spree and you're just liking everybody on your feed, you're also engaging with people who are part of your network. So you're engaging with their network. And it's pretty awesome because once you start to like them, they're like, oh my God, I just saw her post. She liked my post. Let me go and see what she's about. And then they start to research you and they start to do this number on your feed. Who is she? Who does she know? What does she do? You know, that kind of thing. Or it's your business. And the reason I say you is because I would rather you build yours and push people over and share your business into yours, because your business should be a portfolio. Your business should be about your team. Your business should be about your business, right? But they need to know you. They need to know you. They need to know your team. They need to know the people that you work with. And so I want you to see that as if you build a strong brand and you're sharing what you do and you're sharing what your business does in yours, it's going to be a lot faster to build that engagement and build that customer base off of social media. So it's just a suggestion. The gratitude spree. Okay. The gratitude spree is where you get the most engagement, because these are people that have invested in you. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to your last post every single day. You're going to go to your the last post that you did, and you're going to click on everybody who liked it. And you're going to make sure that you're following them, and you're going to go over to their page and you're going to like their latest post. You're going to comment on their latest post. And if you want to be just a badass, you're going to go into their stories and you're going to see their stories. What does this do? Remember, they liked your post. So when you go into their space, when they're like, oh wow, oh my God, she gave me so much love. That's amazing. She's amazing. That's just awesome. I promise you that's how people feel. I've been doing this a long time and I still get like that. I'm like, oh my God, that was so awesome. How sweet. Oh my God, la, 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 la. Like that's me. So it's just because you can never take for granted. You can just never take for granted the fact that when people are engaging with you, they made a choice and they chose to spend time with you. It doesn't matter that it was a second or it was a few minutes. Like, we are so limited on our attention span. We're so limited on what we actually take the time to do. So when you truly feel that way about even the simplest thing as somebody liking your post, you're going to get more of it. So on the gratitude spree, you're going to go to their latest post and you're going to do that. You're going to click on your likes and you're going to go to every single person. You're going to like their latest post. You're going to comment. And so when you comment, remember to do a minimum of 3 genuine words, comment on what their post is truly about, because that will stand out, because it's real easy to do an emoji, and it's still good, the fact that you're taking the time to do that. But when you actually comment, and then when you actually take the time to do an open-ended question, you're now starting to engage. They're going to respond to you and so on and so forth. And that's getting to know them. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't know if you're going to get this. I might be jumping the gun, but I was just going to ask for if there's a different strategy for local versus national.
Actually, no, other than when you're national, you want to be dropping in people's DMs. Like you want to be creating a list of people you want to eventually for them to be sponsors, where eventually you want them, like whatever your intention is, and this is local too, but whatever your intention is, you want to create a list of those people that would be ideal to make that happen. And then you want to be dropping into their DM and literally saying, can I have 5 minutes to talk to you? Like, I would really love for you to know what we're about. And how can I service you? Like, how can I give to you? Like, what can I do so that we can build a relationship? Like, when you're authentic like that, people take notice. And so when you're talking about national, again, they may have bigger accounts, so you may go unnoticed for a while by engaging with them, but not when you go into their DM. When you slide into their DM and you do this often, for one thing or another, they take notice. But when we're talking about national, you got to ask for it. Whatever it is, you just ask for it. You know that you have a value. You know that you could be a great team or a great collaborator, or you know that you have something great that would really elevate their life or elevate their business. So just ask for it.
So as far as Sarah's company on a local level, what are some of the stuff that you give her as far as like a strategy?
So with
Because
Sarah,
she only cares about customers in Houston, for instance.
excuse me?
Because she only cares about, well, customers in McAllen, actually. You know, Sarah for her Instagram.
Well, yeah, because her main objective is for people to call her so that she can walk through their door, right? So her main objective is to she is a resource in our community. And I'm not even talking about like a city. I mean like an entire region. She is a resource. So what Sarah has done she puts a lot of sweat, tears into this. She does a lot in the community. And it took me a long time because she's like, but I don't want people to know. I don't want to share that. I don't like, Sarah for a very long time was not active on social media. But having a friend like me who's like, what do you mean you don't want it? Like, people need to know. People need to know. It's not about you showing off. It's about, first of all, you're inspiring others to do the same, other businesses to do the same. And second of all, people want to work with people who do for their community. They just do. And that's why she has so much business. She literally will get a huge account like UPS or something. And it's because, wow, you do so much in the community. Like they start with that. You just do so much in the community. So I want you to have my account. Like, but it's a lot. It's a huge investment. She does do a ton. So what we do, or she actually does everything on her own now. I mean, my husband will go take some of her videos, but she could literally do this herself. Like she really could just pop up. And this is what we want for her. I want her to pop up the tripod because you don't need a professional to do this. Pop up a tripod, stick your phone on it, make sure that the camera, you're framing the picture and freaking just talk about what you know. Talk about what you know. Pick one very clear thing. Give them a step-by-step of why it's important for you to have. Like tell them, this is important for you to have because it will do this, this, and this. It will save you money. It will kill bacteria. It will, like whatever it is, what you have is of need to people. So lead from there. Sarah is very gimmicky, which I love. Like she has a lot of fun with it and stuff. And so it just makes people laugh because if you see Sarah in action in a business aspect, it's not warm and fuzzy. It's like straight to the point. And she's like, so to see fun videos from her really like, it makes people like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like she did that, so it really, it's kind of like people on TikTok, like they may be this powerhouse and then they let their hair down to like be on TikTok and show you that they either have moves or don't have moves. And when you don't have moves, you actually do better on TikTok, like when you don't know how to dance. So I highly recommend you try it out. But so like Sarah is more of, she does the videos and it's been very powerful because she doesn't like to share a lot on social media. So the videos actually go a long way. But she's gotten, she does her stories now. which people love because she's all over the place. So people love to know, like, what is she doing now? Where is she? Where is she? And so I highly recommend, especially Colleen, if you're traveling. I heard somebody say that you travel a lot, like you travel different places. Share it with everyone. Like, so I'm about
Oh,
to go.
no. My personal Instagram, as far as traveling, is probably like, it's gone down to nothing because I haven't been anywhere. And my house isn't as interesting as where I go, or the couch or TV. But as far as branding stuff, I just, I just was kind of asking as far as different strategies, because we have a mixed group in here, and some of them are working for corporate accounts that are national businesses and have a national following, to where some businesses on here are local and they really want to make an impact just in their local area because national business does not help them.
Let me tell you, for all the national people on this call, I want you to look at the podcast, CMO Podcast. C as in cat, M as in Max, O as in ocean, CMO Podcast. It literally is the biggest brands in the world sharing how they have pivoted to be a brand of purpose, a brand that connects with people. Because
CMO?
CMO. C.
Like CMO, okay.
Wait.
I'm putting it in the chat. That's why I'm asking.
I know why I can't see my chat, because I have this. Okay, I just want to show you this real quick and then I'll go into that. Your time blocking, your list, your little contract, your commitment, and here. So this I wanted to go over real quick and then I'm going to share with you about CMO. This tracker is when you start to write your list and you start to engage, ideas pop into your head. So especially like, this is national, it's across the board. Ideas will pop into your head, like what you could do with that person. Oh my God, you know what? We could do this event, or they could sponsor, or blah, whatever it is. You need a space to write it. You need to take it from your head down to paper so it can happen. So take it from your head down to paper. And if you have all this in, okay, it's time, I have a time blocked, it's time for my love spree, my gratitude, my 30-30 method, then you're gonna sit down, you're gonna have this. And when it pops in your, because it will, I promise you, it happens all the time. You're gonna write it down and you're gonna make it happen. But guess what happens if you don't write it down? Oh, that's a good idea. I'm hungry. Oh, the phone rang, like, and it's gone. And it's gone. And that a brilliant $1 million idea is gone. So, okay, if you guys have any questions with that, let me know. I'm gonna stop share. There we go. Okay, so let me write CMO podcast. So this is such a great podcast. I listen to it and I'm not yet a national account, national business. But, well, I mean, I guess no, I'm not. So this is really amazing because it's showing you how the biggest brands are doing exactly what we're doing here. We're trying to figure out how to be of purpose, because people do not care anymore about the logo. They don't care anymore about the colors in your logo. They don't, when before they did, you guys, like a few years ago, it mattered. And now people want authenticity. They want to know, what are you doing for people? How are you giving me value? Like, what are you doing for me? It's when they're deciding on who they're going to purchase from, they're asking themselves those questions and they're researching on social media to see if you align with their values. This is real, and it's more so with the younger generation that will be of buying power in the next decade. It is severely, severely what they lead with. And so it's just something, as a business owner, as a national business, like, you need to be a brand of purpose, and building community and sharing educational tips and sharing how you solve a problem, sharing what you're doing in the community. This is exactly what that is.
So I have a question. So our industry with contractors, they haven't really gotten into the Instagram world as much as they're still in Facebook and LinkedIn. So how would you suggest, I mean, I know millennials are probably using Instagram more than our age demographic. It tends to be a little older in our industry, which we're trying to change. But what would you suggest in getting engagement in that and helping them? Because obviously their customers are going to be millennials, and, you know, they're going to have to reach out via that pathway.
Yes, absolutely. So on the whole, Instagram has shifted a lot as a way of communicating. So it's actually strongly in a demographic that's 25 and older. So it's really gained a lot of momentum. Second, LinkedIn, the best way is for you to, that list on LinkedIn. So you have your Instagram list, you have your LinkedIn list, share. So when your customer base, if it's, you know, vendors or whatever it may be that you're wanting to build relationships with, and they're on LinkedIn and they're active, they're sharing articles, they're writing articles, they're engaging in a way that the whole point is for them to, like any of us, to get views. When you share, and you share every day the content they're putting out, you are being noticed in a big way. Because it's not common for people to share. Like, people will read it, they'll like it, but very rarely will they share it. So you be the person on LinkedIn to share it. Not only like it and comment, but share. And that will be a way to, they will notice you. 3 times you do that, they're gonna be like, okay, whoa, who's this person? So Facebook, take everything that I just told you on Instagram, and it's the same thing on Facebook. This is the difference on Facebook. Business pages are not going to get any traction unless you're paying to play. And it's important to pay to play, especially if you are, you know, if you have a national account. It's actually, if you can do digital marketing, it's super important. I'm not savvy with digital marketing. I hire people to do digital marketing when I want to push out a product. But the thing about Facebook business pages is Zuckerberg, for whatever reason, wants people to go into groups. Why? Because he wants you to engage. He doesn't want it to be a salesy atmosphere. So he has made it almost impossible for you to be able to push out a brand. So he wants you to engage. So he allows the algorithms to open up in your personal pages, and he allows he allows anything and everything on a group page. So you need to be on Facebook, you need to be a part of groups that, whatever your intention is going to give you that return. So if you're going to invest time to make sure that people understand the value that you bring them, make sure that there are groups for everything. So get into those groups and be of service to them, like what they're talking about, comment, ask questions. They will notice you. So when you do deliver something that's, hey, I wanted you to know this, they're going to do the same.
The other thing with TikTok and some of these other newer things, is there a way to advertise in there or kind of make your presence known? I'm sure, I know a lot of kids use it, so that means parents are probably monitoring what kids are doing. And so contractors want to get in the homes. Is there a way to utilize that?
Oh, absolutely. It's so fun. I want you to go in and hashtag over 40, hashtag over 50, and your customer is right there shaking their booty. Like, big time. So big time. So now it's so much easier for a national account to be able to get in front of people on TikTok, because they haven't gotten super clear on their algorithm. So you are opened up to everyone. The hashtag is what gets you into the different communities. So hashtag over 30, hashtag over 40, hashtag, just take an hour and get lost in a hashtag, and you will see the potential. It's mind-blowing.
Thank you.
Actually, that's something you probably could expand a little bit on, because I know those who maybe are over the age of 30, as far as hashtags and how to properly use them.
Absolutely. So in all realms, hashtag was created on Twitter, and it was to categorize subject lines. It was to categorize certain things that were talked about or events that were happening in the world, right? And then Instagram exploded with it, with the influencers, because they were hashtagging fashion, hashtagging gratitude, hashtagging. And so it ended up starting to be communities. So you have the branded hashtags that are very active communities that allow you to be in those communities. Nationally, when you use those big ones and you have fresh content every single day, you will be seen by people with a lot of influence that are very active. Okay, so it's real important. Locally, you can hashtag the big ones and then hashtag your city, and then you will be localized. So everybody who does hashtag love, but then you put hashtag Mission Texas, you all of a sudden go from everybody who tagged love, Mission Texas, and everybody who's in that community that actively posted in the last 24 hours, you're gonna be in those eyeballs. And so what happens is hashtags are a way for you to be seen. They're super important to use, and they're super important that you create your own. Because let's fast forward 5 years from now, when you have this really active social media community and you take that hashtag to whatever platform is available in 5 years, you are taking that community, like people know that brand, they know that hashtag, and they will go find you in the other communities. And it's also something that people will start to use. So when people use Sarah, they use Atlas, they'll hashtag Atlas, because maybe they don't, tag her or notify her, but they'll hashtag her, like Atlas was here, and then they hashtag Atlas was here. She's created that kind of, I want to say cult following, because she has, because it just is something that happens, but over time. It really does take time, but everybody can do it. So hashtags are super important because it gives you, if you don't use it, you just decrease the eyeballs that are going to see you. So hashtags get you in front of people. Tagging your location gets you in front of people. Notifying and tagging people in your posts gets you in front of people. It's basically, if you can see this, is like you being in a networking event. So if you're at hashtag Mission Texas, you're at a Mission Texas networking event. So everybody who hashtag Mission Texas, you're there. And like you're hanging out.
Well, but before I interrupt anybody else, I had just a testimonial, really. Does anybody else have anything they want to add or questions? We're not wrapping up or anything, but I just didn't want to jump on anybody.
You guys can ask me.
So quiet.
No, that's okay. Y'all can ask me about TikTok. You can ask me about like how to do a video. I do want to share with you that I really, really, really highly recommend you guys doing videos. We are in an age where people are lazy and they don't want to read, but if you are talking to them and sharing with them what your post says, then, and they like it, then they're going to go read the post, they're going to go research you, but they feel like real engaged when you show your face and when you talk to them. You're actually talking to them, and you don't need a production company. You just need a tripod, you need your phone, and you need good lighting. You need good audio, but you can get all of that under $100. All of it under $100.
Okay. What I was going to say is, since Giselle visited us last time, one of the things that, and why you see my eyes cast down, I was looking at actually my Instagram. So I wanted to make sure I had the right facts. So when we talked last year and we had this discussion, I was like, you know what? I have my personal Instagram because all of my personal travel photos go through my Instagram. That's it. I've done it for over 5 years. I have over 17,000 or 1,700 posts or whatever. Anyway, but they're always my travel photos, and everybody's always like, okay, that's cool. But I didn't really take care of Women in HVAC's Instagram presence until last year. And so that's where we started building up the audiences and stuff, and then partnering with brands and distributors and manufacturers, and being able to just kind of follow in like that. And just like she said, guys, the easiest strategy, local or national, is just to take the time to engage. I mean, I can post stuff all day long and put hashtags on it, or even designate a location, which really helps. But the thing is you have to take the time to go after it, follow up on those hashtags and stuff, and start liking some of their content, because they're going to do the same thing, where they're going to invite you to follow them, vice versa. And so you have to also spend the time giving some to put yourself out there as much as, or well, taking, I guess. But I guess I could say it's a two-way street. And even if you're sitting, well, I would do this while I was sitting at the airport. Obviously, I'm not sitting at airports anymore. But where I would go through and I would just look up and see the comments and invite them to like or follow their stuff and then engage with their stuff. And then it creates that transaction. And so I guess that's what I would say is I did follow her advice. I'm not perfect at it by any means, but I can definitely say that we have a much bigger presence. And, you know, the same thing for my own personal company is that, you know, you start off small. Even if you don't make it into the big leagues right away, start a presence, start a conversation. And then we now get lots of direct messages from different manufacturers and stuff. And then people use the Women in HVAC hashtag all the time. As you can imagine, that's a very popular one because there's a lot of women in the industry that want to use that hashtag, and then different products want to use it. So we're pulled into more conversations, which explodes our brand. So there is a lot of benefits, especially nationally. On a local level, I could say it's a little trickier, but not impossible. But I would start out with local businesses, and that's what we've done with our local business is really start working on networking with local other businesses so that when they post stuff, they tag us and vice versa. So we start building a network. I mean, that's just my personal stuff. I was just going to add, and I totally learned actually all of this from Giselle. But little by little, let's make it a goal and be intentional is what I would say. Not just proactive, intentional.
You know, a lot of the other biggest question, what I was sharing with you guys is something that a lot of people ask. Okay, I'll post, but how am I going to grow engagement? How am I going to be seen? And when you give, people reciprocate. They just do. And so when you give of your time, this is the best way to do it, especially locally. Because when you're national, like you can partner up with, you know, with other people that have a big following. They're a lot easier. And so your following can increase pretty quickly. But even locally, you have local influencers that have a lot of power. And so they have a lot of eyeballs. So if they say, hey, did you know, go follow them, you're going to all of a sudden get, 100, 200 new followers that are in your community. So the best way for you to find those influencers and see who aligns with your brand or who aligns with the core customer base that you want is you go to hashtag. So like for us, it would be hashtag RGV blogger. For you, put the city and then put blogger and see what pops up. See who all the people in your city or a surrounding city is an Instagram influencer, because you could actually partner up with somebody like that. You could actually, and it's really effective and it's very efficient. So if you pay them a few $100s and you get a few hundred followers, it's worth it. It is so worth it. And that's truly what they have, because they are their entertainment. So whoever's following them, that influencer is part of their daily life, the people that follow them. And so please consider something like that, because it will shoot your brand up in influence in a big way pretty quickly.
Anybody else have anything to add? Cricket.
Well, this is Soph. I'll ask a question. So what do you suggest, like for me, doing marketing isn't really my main role in my position. And so I have always been pretty wary of keeping my personal stuff on social media versus doing professional stuff on there. I mean, I've done a little bit of sharing on LinkedIn and that sort of thing. And then with my organization, we have this whole separate connection to a formal marketing group. Do you have any suggestions for, I guess, making the approach of keeping that personal versus professional separate? And I also don't want to start setting up something where then I have to invest a lot of time in maintaining it.
Absolutely.
Just for making that kind of middle bridge.
Yeah. So let me just ask you something. So you do have a business social media, like you have an Instagram, you have a Facebook?
No, the only thing I have so far for my professional side is LinkedIn. Everything else is personal.
Okay. And that's what you're comfortable with? Like, do you just want to stay on LinkedIn, or do you want to dive into Instagram?
Well, I'm curious about it, right? I mean, that's part of why I'm attending today, is to find out what the possibilities are. Because I know definitely, I mean, I've been a sheet metal worker for over 20 years, right? But I know that in a lot of ways, our industry is not connecting with the younger folks. So I feel like social media is definitely the way to go. And I feel like we do have a lot of share and wisdom to reach these populations that I guess the folks ahead of me or even my generation have kind of ignored, and we're not going to make it if we can't make those connections. So I feel like it's important to learn about how to communicate this way.
Absolutely. Well, I would tell you I would tell you that create one for your business. I would tell you that if you need to not put your logo on your profile. I'm going to give you little tips that will make a big difference pretty quickly. If you don't want to use your personal one and you want to start to develop your business one, you are going to need to share you behind the scenes. Like, so you are going to need to share a little bit of yourself, because people connect with people. They don't connect with logos. They don't connect with product. People connect with people. So once you put up your business one, make sure that the logo is maybe you and your team. I mean, I don't know how big your team is, but if you have, you and a couple of people, then people will go, okay, it's a real person. Because remember, when you're starting to build one, you're going to have very few posts. And so when you have a logo on there, people are weary. So even if you had a great piece of content, people would be like, nah, that's not a person. They want something from me. And we want to make sure that immediately when you're starting, and anybody who starts to engage with you, they feel that you're giving them value. You don't want them to feel like you want something from them. So that, and then in the bio, make sure that you write why you love what you do and who you service. So that it's a more, it will evoke emotion. So when you're too technical, this is what we do, and this is da-da-da, and we are here in blah, blah, blah city, it's not going to connect with people, because it's a community that people engage with. So when you share a little bit about like why you do what you do and who you service, and something that evokes emotion, then people are like, okay, this is a real person. Okay, that's cool. Even if you have 2 or 3 posts. The other thing I would say is show your work. So if you're uncomfortable, get into a method of like, show your work, maybe put a couple of tips, like, on a post, and then show your face. So what do I mean by when you show your face? Maybe do like a little video, just like, and talk about business if you're not comfortable with anything else. But you do need to connect personally, and you can share a little bit of maybe something you just did, and you can take them through hey, they needed this was the problem, this is how we solved it, and they really loved the final product. So when you take people through a story, even when it's technical, even when it's about industry, even it's about, they're engaged. I mean, how many people go and watch HGTV and all that stuff? They may not even have anything to do with stuff like that, but they like the story. They like the before and the after and the why. So it does take, I want to tell you that it does take work, and more than anything, kind of conquering that I wouldn't say insecurity, because we all have it. Like, it's this oh my God, what if it sounds weird, or what if I didn't do it right? And the honest thing is, when you lead with the why of why you do things, and the outcome, the positive outcome of something, people are that's what they're listening to. It's not, nobody is judging in that way. And if they are, block and delete. It's my favorite thing to do. Block, delete, boop, bye-bye. I hope that helped.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Steph. And if you want to use our hashtag, or you want us to start sharing your stuff, if you're going to share pictures of you in the field, that would be amazing. We would absolutely support that. We're kind of running out of time, and I don't want everybody to jump off the call at once, because I promise I have exciting stuff to say, but everybody usually jumps. I'm watching that number like trickle down, like everybody's like, I gotta go. All right. Okay. It is going to be a great Memorial Day weekend, I hope, for most of you, that you got to get that time to maybe be with family, and to just, maybe kind of, I don't know, because some of us are open, some of us aren't. It's kind of in a crazy situation right now, but, wherever you are, I hope you get a great weekend, have a great weekend. We have a big call coming up next week, actually. We have the president of Service Nation Alliance and Service Roundtable, Matt Michelle. He is actually going to be joining us on a call where we're going to talk about how to prevent fraud in your company. This can be personally, this can be your business. It's going to be like different steps and checks and balances that you can put in place. So how to look for fraud and how to prevent it, so that it doesn't happen to you. And so it's going to go over a lot of different strategies. So we're going to be having him on as a guest next week, and he'll be on for our Friday call. After that, I have actually pretty open schedule, guys. So if you have any ideas for more content that you want to see, we'll start bringing it to you, and we'll start, getting our sponsors engaged to be able to present. And we want to definitely have our members if you guys are interested in presenting as well. Giselle, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for all of your strategy tips and just definitely your enthusiasm. I really appreciate it. I know everybody else on here appreciates it. And we do have the document. We can post that again if Giselle with the chat, because people are joining later. Can you repost that link on the chat right now? And that way they can see it. All right. I think you did that already.
It doesn't say like email here or whatever. You have to press, like get, I don't know what
button.
It shows
I think
up
it says
good
more
for you.
followers.
What, Mary?
Yeah.
It shows up good for you. It says if you didn't get the workbook, here it is, and it's just the HTML for people to click on. Works good.
There you go. Our conference, we are still trying, guys. We're gonna keep talking. If it's this might be in virtual, it might be in person. If it's in person, it's gonna be in San Antonio, Texas. We haven't put anything on Facebook yet because we're working on a message. But if it's gonna be virtual, it's gonna be amazing. So either way, we have stuff in store, and we're gonna plan to the best of our ability to make a great event. We just have to figure out what it looks like, and I think nobody knows the future at this point. So we will stay informed. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.
If you guys just go to San Antonio, I'll go teach you how to TikTok.
Oh, perfect.
Yay.
My 9-year-old knows how to do it, but I have no freaking clue. I actually just made a comment on Instagram to one of our companies. I'm like, she's like, you forgot the MI at the end or something like that. I'm like, I'm just learning Instagram here. My 9-year-old can do it. I can't, but just work with me here. So I'm super sad I missed like your whole webinar, but we had a interview with Service Roundtable for preferred partnership. So that's exciting. So I had to do that call. So I'm looking forward to seeing your stuff, and hopefully will I be able to see a video of this? Colleen?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I can get you on the video stuff, and I know Denise will have a replay on our Facebook.
Awesome.
Giselle, if we go virtual or if we're in San Antonio, if you're open to it, we'll probably see if you're interested in a breakout session.
Love it. I would absolutely love it.
All right.
I would like hug you.
The long distance hug.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Colleen, so much.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Call me back anytime.
Of course.